Hey, welcome to Godfather Minute. In honor of Mikey having his jaw busted, we're going to talk the whole episode like we have our jaws busted. Right?
I didn't understand you, Alex. Can you repeat that, please?
I said my jaw was busted, so I can't do it. Hey, anyway, hey everyone, you can take it out if you want.
No, I really got it in there. I can't take it out.
Oh boy. Well, in any case, this is the Godfather Minute, and my name is Alex Robinson.
And I'm Andy Robinson.
Together we are the Godfather Minute Brothers. Today we are discussing minute 75 of the Godfather.
That's right, Alex. Repeat after me. Minuto.
Numero
75.
75.
You got it.
I'm getting good at this.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know, it occurred to me the other day, I looked to see where we'd be at the halfway point.
Okay.
And I think it's like 87 or something.
Whoa, we're almost there.
We're
then.
almost at the halfway point.
Wow.
If you can believe it.
Yeah, and that's 5 minutes before you know who and you know who gets shot.
How many minutes away is that?
5 minutes.
Have a seat, then order your meal. Drink some wine, try the feel. Ask for permission, then go to the can. When you come back, you'll have more than your dick in your hand. 2 shots each, you'll be on the next flight to Sicily.
It's perfect for us. They got an old-fashioned toilet.
Shoot the Turk and McCluskey too. How many days until you do? We're counting down. Come count with me. You ain't gonna miss the Turk or Paulie.
I know how to one.
We're counting down in this song.
So don't forget, Alex, you need to post the next poll on our support page.
Well, we have some news about that, which we'll discuss in the bonus content.
Okay.
So if you want to hear us discuss that tantalizing, cryptic thing, go to godfatherminute.com/support, and you'll get to hear an extended episode.
Excellent.
So minute 75. 75.
75.
75.
Bene.
Minute 75, we're in the Don's office, and Michael comes up with a insidious plan to kill the Turk and McCluskey. And Sonny and the Caporegimes laugh, and Sonny and Tom seems uneasy by the prospect.
Okay.
So, and that's it. That's what happens in this minute.
That's a good one.
It's mostly Mikey explaining the plan and what the why. No, he doesn't say why. He just says this is what the plan should be. Next minute's the why that he thinks that they explain. So
Yeah. So let's break this down.
Let's break it down.
I was really interested in the reactions of each of the other people in the room.
when Mikey says, and I'll kill them both.
And I'll kill them both.
Okay.
First, the camera is on Sonny, and he's just kind of staring at Mikey. He doesn't start laughing.
Right.
He's just staring. I didn't know how to interpret that reaction. Is it he's not sure if he's serious, or maybe he's really starting to accept Mikey's transformation, or
he could just be very tired because he's probably been up all night killing the brother, killing the son of the magic guy. Bruno Tattaglia.
Yeah.
He's probably a little tired.
That's right. Yeah.
Shagged out.
But it's really strange. It's not until, because then you just hear off camera Clemenza start to laugh.
Right.
And then Sonny looks at him and Sonny starts to chuckle, but it's really Clemenza and Tessio that start the laughing fit.
So you think really Clemenza is the boss of the whole gang, and then Sonny had to wait for the cue from the real to see how the real boss was going to
I don't
how
think-
Mrs. Clemenza was going to react, speaking into his earpiece.
Yeah, don't forget to shoot. Don't forget to shoot. Don't forget to shoot McCluskey too. Yeah. But it's just interesting.
Yeah, that is
How
interesting.
they just immediately think it's not serious.
Right.
Like they couldn't possibly take Mikey up on that proposal, whereas Sonny, I think, is actually considering it. And then Tom just kind of shrugs.
Well, see, I interpreted Tom's thing. I interpreted Tom's reaction differently.
How did you interpret it?
To me, he looks very uncomfortable at the idea. Like he like frowns and he's like shuffles in his feet.
Do you think he's taking Mikey seriously when he makes that proposal?
I think he is.
I think,
or even just the fact that Mikey is saying it, I think is disturbing Tom. And I don't know whether that's because it's a moral thing, whether he's like, oh, I can't believe that he's getting mixed up in the rackets, or whether it's a, boy, when the Don wakes up, he is not going to be happy that Michael is getting involved in the dirty, and like he sees himself as the kind of like voice of reason, like that to be Pop's ombudsman, since he is his advocate, since he is not speaking right now.
Yeah, I guess technically he is his legal advocate.
Yeah.
Well, I have another theory about Tom's reaction.
Okay, let's hear it.
Remember, in a previous minute, we talked about a fan piece that argued that Tom is a terrible consigliere, terrible during peace and wartime. I think Tom feels so in over his head and overwhelmed, and he's trying to do the right thing and keep a clear head, but he's so, like, he didn't even consider the possibility that Mikey could do it. So when he just says that he has no idea what to do, he's basically cowering in the face of stress and indecision.
He's like, listen, everyone calm down. We'll file a motion. You'll have to show cause in the morning. That'll be it. That's he wants to do it all like legal. And
he
like,
just starts giving out cause.
Writs.
Writs, yeah. But it kind of makes sense because Sonny just stares at him. So maybe Tom is thinking, oh, is Mikey serious? And then the Caporegimes just start laughing. And then Tom's like, I'm just confused. I don't know what's going on here.
The Capo's laughing is an interesting aspect of it, because I don't think it's, well, I was going to say I don't think it's because they disrespect Mikey. But do they disrespect Mikey? Do you think there's always a little bit of like, well, he's a legit guy. You know, they might like him, but like in terms, like their world seems so like, you know, counter to that it's just such a, it's like him becoming a priest or something.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's even weirder than becoming a priest, because at least a priest, you're kind of like, it's like a traditional.
Still in in one of the classic Italian roles.
Yeah. So
yeah, that is interesting. So I'm not sure how they see him.
So is them laughing at him, I feel like it's a more like a, you know, like a more macho camaraderie type laugh.
Yeah.
Than like if Fredo said it and everyone laughed, then it would be like disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the fact
I got good aim, not like everyone says. I can shoot them.
Watch this. Ow!
Yeah, that's why the cane is in the office. Fredo already offered this plan up. Maybe that's why they're laughing. Like, oh, Fredo already posed this plan.
That would make Fredo extra mad. The fact that Mikey wound up pulling off the plan that he wanted to pull off and couldn't do.
Yeah. Oh, and that's what Fredo means later, that he was stepped over.
Oh,
for that
as
job.
I bet they sent Fredo. Like they said, oh yeah, Freddie, that's a good idea. And they're like, they totally sent him on like a wild goose chase to like a, you know, like a ground round in Yonkers or something.
I remember that ground round. I think Fredo is just wallows in self-doubt so much that they even tried to get him in this plan. They're like, all right, you're going to go to the airport and you're going to meet Sollozzo. Then you're going to shoot him. He's like, yeah, all right, go send Fredo to the airport. That's always really these Mickey Mouse says, no, Fredo, we really need you to do this job. Yeah, I'm smart.
Well, first they say, oh, you have to pick him up at the airport. No, wait, I'm not doing it. And then it takes him like 10 minutes to calm him down. And all right, I'll do it. And then he's like, okay, so after you pick him up, bring him to your nightclub. No! It starts all over again.
That's great. It could be that maybe he originally was supposed to shoot him, but Fredo botched the job. He just assumed he was going to pick him up at the airport, and so he's like, "Yeah, I picked him up. I didn't know where you guys want me to bring him, so I just, I
took care of him.
I took him to Pop's office. Yeah, I took care of him. I took him to Cuba. Old man Sollozzo knows all these places already." So I do think the Caporegimes were laughing in a similar way that Clemenza was teasing Mikey when he said, why don't you tell that girl that you love her?
Yeah.
A respect and a familial.
Yeah, like an uncle kind of a ball busting kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So
So I do have some insight into the reactions. Yeah, I didn't want to tell you there was information in the book about it. I want to have a real...
that the book that is not in the movie. Stuff from the book that is not in the movie.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, it's in the movie, but it's very different the way it goes down.
Okay, let's hear
So I
it.
think there was a difference in the way Puzo intended it and the way Coppola
Right.
interpreted it.
Well, don't forget, Puzo also helped write the screenplay, so it is his. That's his choices too.
Oh, but do you think he had to compromise at all? And Coppola's like, no, you can't have all these scenes with the Sonny humping Lucy.
Well, I have to assume that Puzo knows that I'm sure he knows the Hollywood business and knows they're not going to do like a word for word translation of his thing.
Yeah.
But I like the interpretation that it's almost like a third draft of the book. That it's just kind of like, okay, let's cut all that other stuff out and just. So anyway, what does he say though? Let's hear what he says.
Well, before I read it, I hope you don't feel betrayed that I kind of led you on. Hey, what do you think the reactions were?
no,
And then I revealed that.
I expect nothing but betrayal and double crosses from everyone I know. So.
I thought you meant just because we're doing Godfather.
Oh yeah, well that would be thematically be appropriate.
Well, I wasn't going to do it, but then Johnny Ola called me and they said They said there was something in it for me.
Oh, Johnny Ola, no, I don't know him.
That's becoming a great go-to line. By the way, you're going to need one soon because we've exhausted the show calls in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wait, say it again. Go ahead, say it again.
Take two. Yeah, you're going to need a new line soon because you've exhausted the line of having to show cause in the morning.
Oh, that's when when someone says something that like crosses the line and like one of the characters, like someone's revealed to be a bigot or something like that.
So you don't think any time that quote show cause end quote is said on the podcast, we have to do the typical cheering?
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
So that last one really should be both simultaneously. Like one camp is cheering because they're the traditionalists. Anytime they hear that, they have to cheer and whoop.
Oh, right. So it would be.
It's like a Rocky Horror Picture thing, right?
Why don't we leave it up to the audience? What do you guys think? Cheer or boo?
Oh, there you have
All right,
it.
the people have spoken.
Okay. All right. So here are the reactions according to Mario Puzo in the novel.
The Gospel according to Puzo.
So Mikey just finished revealing his proposal. All four heads turned and stared at him. Clemenza and Tessio were gravely astonished. Hagen looked a little sad, but not surprised.
Well, there you go.
He started to speak and thought better of it. But Sonny, his heavy Cupid's face twitching with mirth, suddenly broke out in loud roars of laughter. Ho, 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 ho. That's my interpretation. It was deep belly laughter, not faking. He was really he was really breaking up. He pointed a finger at Michael, trying to speak through gasps of mirth. You, the high-class college kid, you never wanted to get mixed up in the family business. Now you want to kill a police captain and the Turk just because you got your face smashed by McCluskey? You're taking it personal. It's just business and you're taking it personal. You want to kill these two guys just because you got slapped in the face? It was all a lot of crap. All these years, it was just a lot of crap. Clemenza and Tessio, completely misunderstanding, thinking that Sonny was laughing at his young brother's bravado for making such an offer, were also smiling broadly and a little patronizingly at Michael.
Oh.
Only Hagen warily kept his face impassive. It's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, that could tie into for my comments, because obviously that carries over into next week's minute too. So I'll say I have some comments on that, but I think it'll continue that to be continued for next week. So yeah, but that is interesting though, that in there clearly the capos waited until Sonny started laughing first.
Sonny led the emotional response.
Right, which makes sense because he's the boss. That's why I'm so surprised that Clemenza in the movie was the first one to laugh. I wonder why they changed that.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring it up. I don't know why they changed it. I have an idea, but I also can't reveal it until the next minute.
Oh, so two things. All right.
Sorry about that, Alex.
It's all right.
Yeah, we'll get back to that then. So to be continued about why their reactions were so mixed.
Yeah. So here's a question. Do you think Mikey has killed in the past?
I think he has in Japan. Was he in Japan?
I think so.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just thinking he was in Japan because they talk about how they
Bombed Pearl Harbor?
Pearl Harbor on Pop's birthday.
You know, now that you mention it, I don't know if they ever specifically say it's Japan.
I may have been in the book. I'll have to go back and check.
So it is established that he won the Navy Cross.
Yes.
Which I researched, and it's the second highest medal that's given out for combat. So it does imply that it wasn't just like he probably killed some guys too. So
I know he was shot in the foot, I believe.
Is that how he got?
While he was, and that's how he got a Purple Heart.
Right, and that's how he got out of the war. But because the Don bribed the doctor.
Yeah,
at least according to the Godfather.
It wasn't even a doctor. It was Bonacera dressed up as a doctor. How did I get wrapped up in this?
Your pulse is very fast. You need to relax. Calm down. Lay down. Put these pennies on your eyes. You'll feel fine. So it makes me wonder at what point did you want to say something else about Bonacera?
I don't know if it'd be better if he hires Bonacera or Enzo to be the doctor.
For your doctor.
I'm your doctor. You cannot return to the war. Here are some flowers. Take these to your mother back home. Purple Heart.
His hands all shaking while he's doing the operation. So when did Mikey, did he just hatch this plan now? Has he been thinking it ever since McCluskey popped him one in the face and he's like, oh, I'm going to kill this bastard?
That was one of my questions too. I was wondering if it took, because when Mikey gets back to Pop's office, that's when Sonny shares with him that Sollozzo, oh, and get this, he wants to meet with Mikey. That's the first time that Michael learned just a minute or two ago.
Oh, that's right,
that it's Sollozzo's plan or proposal to meet with Mikey. So maybe it's then. My guess is that Mikey had been thinking that they had to kill Sollozzo. Killing Sollozzo was the key.
Right. He says that,
Yeah. But even before he gets into the office, I think probably even as far back as the hospital. But I do think that this particular plan didn't come up until he's just sitting there silently thinking.
Because it makes sense, because he says, well, he must be thinking, well, somebody has to kill Sollozzo.
Yeah.
And obviously, if Sollozzo wants to meet him, the simplest solution is to have him kill him.
Well, and I do have one question I have is, does it have to be Mikey? You say it does because it's the most natural fit because Sollozzo already wants to meet with him.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the only solution. I mean, actually, now that you're putting the idea in my head, like they could just put a bomb in the building or something. You know what I mean? Like no one has to go to the. But then I guess whoever was going with them would be killed too. Like if Mikey went with them and then the bomb blew up, then they would all die.
Yeah.
And I guess anything else, like if you have 100 guys come in with guns blazing, Mikey also could get shot. So Mikey's kind of almost like a hostage as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
Well, and I also wonder if you also want to minimize collateral damage. The only reason the plan could possibly work is because McCluskey got mixed up in the rackets and got what was coming to him. So it's okay if he dies.
It's true. It's not
you have
like
waiters.
You can't kill innocent people. And you're right. There's a lot of bloodshed.
Yeah.
It's a lot of blood. It's a lot of
blood.
Money is, what's that from? Money? It's a lot of some business.
That's so Sollozzo. Blood is a big expense.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it's going back for like at least a dozen minutes. Well, in the book, Puzo addresses that. They're having a conversation, and it's Mikey who says it has to be me, and he gives some reasons. He said, well, Sonny, you have family, and you have children, and I don't, so it doesn't make sense for you to risk it. Mikey then says, Freddie is in shock, and so he's out of the action. I forgot that Fredo, having witnessed the assassination attempt, he's still in a hospital or in his room, or maybe just partying at his nightclub.
They should totally. I think like at the end of the scene, like everyone should get up and leave the room, and Fredo was there like the whole time. Like just no one ever.
He's just rocking back and forth in his chair, all fast, talking to himself.
Mo.
No, I don't know. Every time a name comes up, you just hear Fredo. Like they go, no, killing Sollozzo is the key. No, Sollozzo, I don't know him. I never met Sollozzo.
So then Puzo goes into can other people do it?
So not Sonny. Poor Freddy's in shock. Someone suggests maybe Sonny. Someone suggests, maybe get a top button man, someone who's really good.
Yeah.
They said Sollozzo would have done the research and they'd recognize anyone who's in their family who's a top button man. They wouldn't allow that.
Cheech.
Yeah.
Then they'd be like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they could send in a whole lot of button man senators. That's what they should do. Then someone also suggests, well, maybe they can send a rookie button man, someone who's totally new that they wouldn't recognize. What do you think?
I think that's good, but then you'd have to be, are they good enough? Are they cool enough to pull it off?
You're absolutely right, Alex. Tessio smiles and says, that's like bringing in a guy up from the minors to pitch the World Series. And Sonny eventually says, yes, it has to be Mikey for a million different reasons. Most important, they got him down as faggy.
Whoa,
Yeah,
can't say that.
Most important, they got him down as faggy.
They can't print that.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, well.
What, do we need to scrub that out of the podcast? Is that what you're saying?
I can't. Well, first of all, obviously, neither of us have anything against the homosexual people.
They're standing disclaimer.
A fine race. You know, we're just for historical accuracy. We are citing this. We do not agree with the opinions of Mr. Santino.
So does that word "faggy" mean the same? Mean what I think it is?
Yes,
like
I just have to
soft back in the day. Yeah. Do you think that's what they meant by it then, or did it have two meanings?
No, I think it means wimpy and plus also you know, Mario Puzo's writing this in 1969 or whatever, so it definitely has that connotation then. But I don't know about the historical accuracy of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Late 60s.
Yeah. Although that does add a new wrinkle to the fact that Clemenza and Tessio and all those guys maybe not respecting you because they're like, yeah,
he's soft.
He
doesn't have the the gumption to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because then later on when when the Don recovers and they want to start their own families, they don't ask Michael, they ask the Don. So how can we start? And he's like, I'm semi-retired.
Yeah.
Why am I out, Mikey?
Sorry, Pop, you're out.
That's good. I'm semi-retired now and going to full retirement.
No, Pop, you're out of your semi-retirement. You're back in.
Well, why do you treat me like this, man? That's like getting a guy from the minors to pitch the World Series. Could pitch the World Series.
Well, Pop, if you prefer, I could move you and your wife to Las Vegas.
Hey, sure, Pop, you can live with me.
I'll drive you to the airport. That'd be great if Don Corleone and Fredo ran the nightclub together.
That's just sitcom idea.
Oh, that's the spinoff, right?
Corleone and Son.
Come here, you dummy.
What would Pop's role be?
Well, he's like the owner and kind of like the.
Would he be the maitre d'? No, they both have to run it.
Well, but they both have to be hands on, like
somewhat to some extent.
You don't think the Don would just be like in the office in the back?
Maybe, but what would his role be in the office? Would he be hiring people?
Yeah, I think like Fredo would be like the house manager who'd have much more like you know, the nuts and bolts of it. And the Don is always just like he has to keep going to the Don for money and so
but the Don takes care of the big decisions.
Yeah, well, Fredo thinks he takes care of the big decisions, but the Don's really like, okay, I'll
bail him out again.
Don Corleone, I see it as he does all the hiring.
Yeah,
it's like, I gotta keep hiring more wait staff because Fredo's banging waitresses 2 at a time. And patrons can't get a drink. Maybe we should serve coffee.
What if they both had to? If they were the only two that worked at this bar/restaurant, only two, and they had to do all the jobs, who would do what jobs?
The Don would cook.
Oh, okay. Well, you think the Don's a better cook than Freddie?
Yeah.
Wow. What makes you think that?
Because he grew up like in an old school Italian world. And, you know, he was young, so he had to, like, learn for himself and everything.
Yeah.
And whereas Fredo's never really had, like, a stable... I guess Mama would have cooked.
Yeah.
But I just wouldn't trust him with anything other than running a Mickey Mouse
So
nightclub.
what would he be doing? He has to. The Don can't do everything himself.
He'd be
in
the
this bar.
waiter.
Fredo would.
Fredo's the waiter.
He'd be wearing the same suit he wears in the Mo Green Vegas scene. It almost looks like a waiter.
I always wanted to be wearing
weird
that plaid suit, that plaid GF too, with the mustache too.
It's like, sir, you brought me. You cooked this steak. Well done. Oh yeah, we were all real sad about that. Sorry.
You don't come into a place like this and order a steak like that.
What about mixing drinks?
Sure, yeah.
He could
Banana
mix
daiquiri.
drinks. He has to keep calling Mikey up. Mikey, what drinks can we serve you? Banana daiquiri. What do you call that? Banana daiquiri. Oh, okay. Soda water.
So one last filmmaking observation I have is that most of this minute is taken up by a slow pan as Michael is telling his plan. The camera slowly, pans in on him.
Yeah.
Zooms in, I guess. I don't know what the film term
I
is.
think it's zoom, right?
And pan is left to right.
I think so,
And zoom
yeah.
is in and out. In and out. Yeah, so I thought it was an interesting parallel to the opening shot of the movie where it starts off as a close-up of Bonacera and then gradually gets wider where you see everyone else in the room. And in this one, you see other people in the room and then the focus is now, like, Michael is now the center of what's going on. Like, he is the whereas before it indicated that Bonacera was kind of at the mercy of all these people. This one is the opposite. It's like no one else is important in it. So I thought that was a good visual
Yeah,
trick.
it's very cool. I noticed too that during that slow zoom in, that it's Tom you see behind him almost the whole time, and he's a little out of focus, but he's sitting right behind him as like a consigliere.
Right, yeah.
He's just right behind him, ready to whisper some suggestions,
Right, yeah.
or give him
Ready
some
to
data.
mess it up again.
Yeah, ready to start passing out writs of cause writs.
Boo! Boy, they really turned on us. That
Yeah,
audience.
wow.
So here's something I just noticed, and it answers a question we brought up before. They have informers in the Tatalia organization.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting wrinkle that clearly they're not doing too good of a job if they didn't warn him about this Turk business that was coming down.
Well, do they have informers in the Tatalia family or they definitely do in the police department?
Oh, so you think it's in the...
They may have been referring to, hey, let's find out where it's going to be, because although they haven't said it yet in the movie, they may be thinking that McCluskey will be with him. And so their informer in the police station will be the one to share that information.
Because they established later on that all cops have to report where they're going to be.
Yeah.
But we don't know that at this point yet.
No.
So...
But that's a good question. I don't know who they're referring to. as
Yeah,
their
you're a police informer is probably... although informer it sounds a bit more...
Yeah.
Although, I don't know, informer could be cop as opposed to like our man on the inside or our spy or whatever. So
Maybe it's Bonacera, their informer, because he does his corpse valeting for all the families, as we established many minutes ago.
so that was a weakness then to have McCluskey. Well, I guess it's a double-edged sword because if McCluskey wasn't involved, then they'd have no way of knowing where they were going to meet.
Yeah.
But if McCluskey wasn't involved, then there's nothing to guarantee the Turk's safety because anyone else they would kill. The police are sacrosanct, so they can't sacrosanct kill them. So.
Excellent. I've got one more item. It doesn't have anything to do with this minute, but I put it in the cleanup category. Should I hit it?
Sure.
Okay.
Clean it up.
Has to do. Oh, I need to come up with some cleanup music.
Clean it up.
Page 138, Puzo writes about the relationship between the McCluskeys and the Tatalias.
The McCluskeys, plural?
Kinda, yeah. Here it is. Bruno Tatalia was an old friend of his. That's McCluskey. Bruno had gone to Fordham with one of his sons, and then Bruno had opened his nightclub, and whenever the McCluskey family spent an infrequent night on the town, they could enjoy the cabaret with liquor and dinner on the house. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So they do have a relationship. It's not just... That's their connection with... That's how they get McCluskey connected to Sollozzo. On New Year's Eve, they received engraved invitations to be guests of the management and always received one of the best tables. Bruno always made sure they were introduced to the celebrities who performed in his club, some of them famous singers and Hollywood stars, which is so interesting because the actor, that's what the actor who played McCluskey did not like. He didn't like the whole Hollywood scene, but here he is playing a guy who likes being around that.
Well, we don't know. We don't know if McCluskey actually liked it or not. He's
That's true, yeah.
Oh, hell, I gotta meet more celebrities.
Yeah. All the drunk guys stumbling down like, oh, Phil, stand him up so he can get out. Of course, sometimes he asked a little favor, like getting an employee with a record cleared for a cabaret work license. Usually,
Bruno asked for the favors.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I thought it was McCluskey at first. Hey, can you do me a favor? What favor would he ask him when he's out at the
Can you do me a favor? Stand him up. Do me a favor. Try the veal.
Like getting an employee with a record cleared for a cabaret work license, usually a pretty girl with a police dossier as a hustler or a roller. McCluskey would be glad to oblige. Yeah.
I'm imagining the McCluskey family going out and they do an Eddie Murphy thing where Sterling Hayden plays all like Mrs. McCluskey and the McCluskey kids and the whole thing.
No wonder he hates Hollywood. He's like, I just want to get in my boat. I gotta play all these other people.
Goddamn prosthetics.
What are you doing? But does he just use the same voice?
Yeah.
He doesn't even fake the voice.
I think that's pretty much how he sounds in all his roles. I don't think he's like putting that on.
Damn it, I said stand him up, Phil. Oh no, take him in.
Yeah,
Damn it, take him in.
Take him in, stand him up, put him down, clean it up.
Clean it up, stand him up, take him down, and quit telling me my business, eh? I gotta start using that. Quit telling me my business
here. All right, well, I guess that'll wrap up minute 75. What do we want to rate it?
Oh, wow, it's a really good minute.
It is a good minute.
The whole banter. We forgot to even mention that Sonny's kind of slapping Mikey, and Mikey's putting his hands up to protect his face because he's got that broken jaw.
Right, yeah.
That's great. Boy, I'm tempted to go 5. It's either 4 or 5.
I was originally going to say 4, but you know what? I'm going to say 5 because it's a big moment. Mm-hmm. You got everyone's doing stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I'll say 5.
Yeah, you sold it to me. Sold it to me. 5 stars.
All right, so I guess we'll convene for the bonus content in a minute or two. But in the meantime, hey everyone, if you like the show enough where you want it on your body, then go to StarWarsMinute.com/merch, and at the Star Wars Minute store, you'll see our 2 Godfather Minute products. So far, two shirts we have in mind. Although maybe we should start doing ones with our catchphrases on it. Like,
yeah, probably.
You'll just go in the morning and show. My parents watched The Godfather, and all I got to do was go before judge in the morning and show cause, something like that. Oh, no, they're back. They're turning it around.
Is that what it would say on the back? Woo!
Yeah, it would be a picture of a cheering audience on the back.
Awesome, that's great.
I
do like the idea of putting the lines we joke about, and then our weird, unique lines too. So it'd really only be comprehensible, kind of inside jokes on T-shirts.
Right. Yeah. Yes, we recently released a Star Wars Minute shirt. We made a joke on the show, and we made a shirt about the joke.
Oh, cool.
And someone was asking if it was going to come with little cards that you would hand out to people to explain what the joke was, because it's so labor intensive to really explain. So, yeah.
So what do we got for the bonus content?
Well, we have the announcement about the new Countdown song.
Excellent.
You were
going to talk about Reds.
I saw the movie Reds with Diane K. Adams Keaton in it, so we'll talk about that.
Excellent.
And I think you also saw GF3, right?
I did see about first 15 minutes of GF3.
So we got a little bit of Zaza coming up.
Yeah, so stick around, round.
Ground round. All right then. So until next time, try the veal. It's the best in the city.